I have a very interesting history. I've probably done almost everything, from aviation, real estate, engineering, and such. I'm a United States Navy veteran, submariner. I am nuclear power. I served in the Navy. So welcome all you vets, man. and the rest of you, thank you for your service. So I figured to give this intro. I love working at all kinds of things. I think there's about nothing I can't fix or build or haven't done in the years, or operate or whatever. And lately I have my new friend Noel. He's the one behind the camera. And we're working on a couple golf carts, which we've been having a ball with. We're gonna put a LED light kit on one of these and see how it goes. We've got 10 of them, and we've been having a ball. And this is going to be one of the videos for that. So we'll get started and have some fun. I put my white lab coat on so I can look official. How do you like that? Looking official. But it's just for fun, and I hope you'll subscribe and like my videos so other people will too. Another thing I'm going to do is that a lot of times I buy a ton of stuff from Amazon. I don't think they're always the best, and I could talk about some of that other junk, but you know, Amazon in general has a lot of stuff that I want, and I bought this light kit from Amazon, and we'll put a link in it in the description down below. So from now on, a lot of times when I buy stuff, I get a lot of stuff off Amazon for convenience. We'll try to leave a link for it, and that way you can get it from them if you're doing the same thing. So what I would like to do, subscribe and like. We really appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. And I'll try not to give any big long speeches like this in the future, but welcome to channel Doc White Knight. So we'll get started with the lights. Okay, so here's what we did. We're going to cut the openings for the tail lights and the headlights. They're pretty much both the same. But one of the things I got to say, I did a headlight kit on a club car, and the pattern that came for the light cutout was kind of half full because you kind of had to guess where to get it accurate. What I liked about this one is it gave you lineup stuff where you can line exactly on the body parts like you do here, and it lined up just right for marking it out. And you don't have to cut anything. It already comes pre-cut out. So then what I did is I marked it around the edges with a Sharpie. Where's that Sharpie? Anyway, I used one of these Sharpies, the big black Sharpie, and I marked around the edges. And then I pulled it off. I did a little bit over here. You could kind of see here. But I like this pattern. The other ones I did were not this good. So whoever made this kit, when you get the referral, at least makes it good for lining up, because I did a couple ones before, and the pattern didn't line up so well like this one does. And I think that's good. That's really good. Now I marked it. Here you see I took the paper pattern off with the highlight, and it's marked. And it really came out really nice and easy to do. You actually could stick to that outside edge, and that's the light. Now, another thing that I got on Amazon, but you probably get it anywhere, is I got, which I think is cool. There's other company, used to be Rotor Zip. Everybody makes these rotary tools, and you can see I just using a combination rotary tip. And with this, it makes it easy to cut it out. If you have one of these, use it. I assume you could use a Dremel. The thing is, last time I tried to cut it out with like a Sawzall, which is all I had. I didn't have a little one of these or saber saw, and it kind of mucked it up a little bit. I mean, I got it, but it wasn't real nice. So we're going to learn this together today, and we're going to try using this and see how this works. But I think this is going to be cool. I got it for this job, and you know, when you always got an excuse to buy a tool, get an excuse to buy a tool, you use it. So here we go. I plunged it in right there, which was real easy. Now you could kind of see, I put it right on the line there. You see it now? I'm going to cut. Like the tool, but it only has one LED light right there. It would have been nice. It should be lit better. And you can see, as I was trying to turn it to get a light, I got to put a little nick here. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I'm going to try a light on that right now. But that is, you know, the lighting would be a little bit better. As you get old, I need reading glasses, but if it's bright enough, I can see it. So that's our first one. I'll cut a couple more, and we'll come back, and then we'll fit the light and see how it comes out. So we take the pattern on the front. Another good pattern, what I like, it's got a line to line up with the edge of with the groove here. It's got here to mark with the bottom. You can keep it around the top. I like these patterns. So we got our first one snapped in. I want to show it to you. It came in really nice. It snaps in pretty easy. The only issue that I had was, even though I cut it close on the line, because of the way these tapers were on these clips, it was a little harder to get in, and I had to trim a little more out than I wanted to. I'll show you kind of on this one. I'll probably have to trim out more. You can see how it's kind of tight, getting it up under there like that. See, and then trying to get this one in, I had the bottom in, I had a hard time. So probably what I'm going to have to do is mark this and take a little bit out so the clip goes in. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to mark it just a little bit for the clip, for the part of the plastic, and then we're going to go ahead and snap this one in.
Action.
So I made a little bit of a mark so I could get the clip in, which we had plenty of room. You can actually cut the holes bigger than I did. And I was trying to cut them exact or pretty close, and it makes it a little snugger. So I would probably recommend over-cutting a little bit, just maybe probably 1/8 of an inch, and that's it. But they're all in, they snap in, and they're tight. Okay, now we're going to run the harness. I kind of routed a little bit so I didn't waste everybody's time. But if you take a look up here, we came down here. Let me get my flashlight so you got a better view. Can I light it up? We came out of there, which goes up to the dash. Down here, we're going to zip tie it there. Across under this bar. This is my way. If there's a better way, let me frickin' know, man. Then I came here. This goes up to the brake pedal, but we don't have the brake switch, but we're going to probably coil it up and set it there. Then along the piece of frame here, along here, up this frame, up here, see? Up the frame, and this will all be zip tied. This one has to go up to the battery, which we'll do that right now while you're watching. What I'm going to do to get it to go up the battery, there's a spot right there. So I'm going to push this up. It's actually pretty easy to run, but because I had run one before, I didn't want to fumble and waste your time watching me trying to figure out where to put it, you know? Let me get that up there. And I'll get it. But not fun being short. All right, now that we've got the wiring, the lights all in, the harness all mounted, and remember we brought this one up from underneath. This is the power. So you see we've got a fuse. You have to have one of these. You'll always need to buy one of these. And this converts or something similar to it. Pretty cheap again on Amazon. I could probably put a link in for it. This is 120 watt. It goes 48 volts to 12 volt converter, 10 amps. So what that allows you to do is take the 48 volts from the battery and feed 12 volts to the lighting system is what you need to do. You can't just hook this right up to the lights. So this has to be installed, and you put two ends on here, and these will go directly on the battery post. It's a lithium card, so I'm going to connect it directly to the battery post, and then these other two, which are the feed, will go directly to the lighting system when we'll mount this. So that's what's next. I'll do this, and we'll see if the lights come on. So we put the 48 volt to 12 volt converter, and we zip tied the feed wire for it here. Here's a fuse for the system. It's got its own little fuse, and we've connected it to the battery. Now, where it comes up for the power, what we did is I used a little step bit, and I drilled a hole for the switch. I mounted the switch with the nut and hooked the wires to it. And now, by doing that, we could turn the lights on and off. Now on this Ezgo, there's just 5 screws to remove this off of the dash. That's all it took. 5 little screws, and I'll put that back on, and then we'll clean it. So as you can see, I think you already showed you the lights come on and off. Same with the tail lights. Looks good. All right. So now we'll just put this back together, and everybody should be happy. So we put the 48 volt to 12 volt converter, and we zip tied the feed wire for it here. Here's a fuse for the system. It's got its own little fuse, and we've connected it to the battery. Now, where it comes up for the power, what we did is I used a little step bit, and I drilled a hole for the switch. I mounted the switch with the nut and hooked the wires to it. And now, by doing that, we can turn the lights on and off. Now on this Ezgo, there's just 5 screws to remove this off of the dash. That's all it took. 5 little screws, and I'll put that back on, and then we'll clean it. So as you can see, I think he already showed you the lights come on and off. Same with the tail lights. Looks good. All right. So now we'll just put this back together, and everybody should be happy.